Thank you, Caesar. I hope everybody can hear me pretty good. Welcome to Alameda County SBDC. This is the seminar on cryptocurrency and digital currency, the basics. It is important to learn this, and that is one of the reasons that Alameda County is offering this, because the way the world is going, um, it is um, it is just time to educate ourselves in this subject. The information provided in this webinar and any supplementary material is only for information purposes and educational purposes, and it does not constitute professional, financial, or legal advice. We want to make sure that everybody understands that. No registrant should act or fail to act on the basis of any material contained in this webinar without obtaining proper financial, legal, or other professional advice specific to their situation. So the Northern California SBDC and its host, the HSU Sponsored Programs Foundation, specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence, directly or indirectly, of the use of application of any information presented in this webinar. That's a disclaimer from Alameda County. My name is Indu Jayakumar, like I was saying, and I am a business advisor with Alameda County as well as Santa Clara County, which basically means I talk to a lot of business owners in both the counties, and we guide them in either starting a new business or getting funding for their business, or they are stuck at some specific aspect of their business, maybe an online issue or business growth, insurance issue, HR issues, any type of business issue that you may have. We are here to guide you and help you. So there are many business advisors in both the counties who can help you with any situation that you are in. I love talking to interesting people who make a difference in our community. SBDC helps businesses with capital. So that is one very big aspect of SBDC, because every business needs capital at some point or other, especially now during COVID time. We have helped hundreds of businesses here in Alameda County, as well as Santa Clara County. Besides capital, we do research for your business, we do marketing help for your business, certification for your business, growth of your business. We guide you and help you in continuity in your business, and basically help you thrive. That really is the goal of SBDC, which is which partners with SBA, and SBA is a federal organization, as you guys know already. Goal of SBDC, economic impact is the goal. We help because it's the best interest of the community at large to help businesses grow and thrive. Here at Alameda County, we want all of you to thrive in your business, and those of you wanting to start a business, we would encourage you to do that. Helping business owners receive greater access to capital helps everyone, because we want you to thrive, because we know if you thrive, you are going to hire more people in your business, and that is in the interest of the whole community. We have sponsors who work with our program, and knowing more about FICO, which will help prepare you in advance of those conversations about what's possible. So do contact us. If you do not have our contact information, I will give that to you at the end of this seminar. So now the agenda for today is, first we will introduce ourselves. I would like to know who is here in the seminar, and why you're here also, if you can tell us. And I will go over history of our current monetary system. It is important to understand a little bit of history so that you will understand where we are going in this day and age. I will go over a little bit about fiat currency. What is fiat currency? And I will go over what is digital currency. I will go over what is cryptocurrency as well. And then different types of cryptocurrency. And then I'll go over what is Bitcoin. how do I use Bitcoin in my business? As business owners, I'm assuming most of you are business owners already, or you wanting to start a business. So it is important to know how this type of currency is going to help you in your business. I will not be talking about trading Bitcoin at all. That is not the goal of this seminar. Trading cryptocurrency and trading Bitcoin, that's not what the seminar is about. This is more about educating yourself about the new currency that is slowly embarking in every society all over the world, and how it's going to affect your business. Okay, so that's what this seminar is about. And what is Bitcoin Cash? I will be going over that too, and we will wrap up. Now, if you have any questions as I am talking, feel free to type the question in the chat box, and Caesar will be watching for these questions, and he will let me know and ask these questions. Okay, it is okay to interrupt me, and it is okay to ask me questions. I like it because it makes it more interactive than me just going on and on. Okay, since we're all here on a digital screen here on Zoom, I really do not know from your body language, if anybody's understanding what I'm saying or not. So it is okay to type the questions in the chat box. So before we begin, I will let Caesar call out the names who are here. So if you will please briefly tell us what your name is, maybe your business, if you have a business already, what business are you in? Or if you want to be in business, what is your business idea? And the reason you're here, and if you have a specific question that I may be able to answer, do specify that also. Okay, Caesar?
Okay, so first on my screen, I have Milagros Cruz. And if you're unable to unmute your mic, feel free to add this information into the chat box as well. Okay, so Milagros Cruz can't share. How about Song White? You're a little bit low, Song White. We can hear you. It's just a little bit low.
I'm doing translation. The reason I'm here is because just obtaining a lot of knowledge on Bitcoin. I have heard about it a lot, but don't understand it. And at this point, I do not have a question.
So, sorry, Song. We're having some issues hearing you. So
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, a little bit better. Yes.
This is Song White. My business, White Song. I'm in translation business. I heard about digital currency a lot, but never really understand what is it. And so my question is the same question is, what is Bitcoin or what is digital currency?
All right. Thank you, Song.
Up next, we have Richard Camacho. Okay. Up next is Jeanette H.
Hello, I do not have a business yet. I'm taking the class because I hear a lot about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but I don't really know what it is. So I'm here to find out more about it.
All right, thank you.
Next we have P. Mohun.
Hi, currently I don't have a business too. And the reason I'm here is to get more understanding of digital currency and cryptocurrency, which like most of us is very new to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next we have Emily D.
Hi, I'm Emily. I don't have a business currently. I have a few different ideas, but I haven't really decided which one I'm gonna go with. Here, I want to learn that if cryptocurrency can help with any small businesses in the future, or what is the trends.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next on my screen, I have Ju Hung.
Hi, everybody. This is Ju. My family has a restaurant business, and I have a very surface level of understanding of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and NFT and things of that nature. And I'm trying to learn a little bit more, deep dive into to see if I can help my family set up accepting cryptocurrency in the restaurant. And in addition to that, I'm personally interested in having my own business within this cryptocurrency world. It seems like more and more is getting relevant, and I think there's a lot of exciting opportunities, but I don't know how to start or where to start or what type of legality and all that. So, but it's a very learning stage for me as well too. So I'm pretty excited to be here.
All right, thank you, Ju.
Thank you, Ju. Next on my screen, I have Chris Capidia. Okay. Let's move on forward to Joyce Lee. Joyce, would you like to share? Okay, let's move on forward to Nicole Talbot.
Hello, good afternoon. I am a small business owner. I own a community arts programming business, and I'm here just to learn more about what cryptocurrency is, ways to smartly invest and utilize any forms of revenue that may be possible for my industry.
All right, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. How about Manju? Would you like to share?
Hi, I just wanted to know more about the cryptocurrency. So I'm not in business right now, but I'm just thinking to start something and just here for that knowledge.
All right, thank you, Manju.
Thank you, Manju. How about Scott Taylor? Okay, so I think that's about all of the attendees, Indu.
All right, okay, thank you, guys. It looks like most of you are not really business owners. Just a couple of you or 3 people are business owners. Now, those of you who are not business owners and are thinking of starting a business, that is fantastic news, actually. We make sure that you do contact SBDC for any type of help that you may need in setting up your new business. We are here to help you. So welcome again to everybody. So moving on, I am going to dive into the history of our monetary system, because it's very important to learn that in order to understand cryptocurrency. So that is why I'm going to be going over this. So 1933, during World War I, this was like a circular which went out to every person in America. So it said, under the executive order of the president, on or before May 1st, 1933, all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them should be turned into the Federal Reserve Bank branch or agency, or to any member bank of the Federal Reserve System, which basically means nobody can own gold. Before World War I, everybody used to hoard gold, but the United States government decided that it is going to be the keeper of gold. And 1933, the gold standard was started along with the fiat currency, which is when I say fiat currency, that means that's the current dollar system, the paper dollar that we carry around, the green money, which is paper money, that is called the fiat currency, that is backed by the gold. So people, or every country around the world, basically gave the gold to the United States of America for safekeeping. Why? Because United States had the most stable government, and the whole world trusted the United States. And so we kept all the gold, and in turn, we gave them the dollar, the US dollar, which was backed by this gold. Now, in 1971, that changed again, okay? You have to understand the monetary system, whatever monetary system that humans came up with during the Roman times, and even before that, they had some other monetary system. So we're not going that far. We are going to 1933, and then 1971, things changed again because Nixon decided the US dollar is not going to be backed by gold anymore. So what does that mean? So I will go over that in a bit. So on an average, international monetary system lasts about 35 to 40 years before the tensions they create become too great and a new system is required. So it's been like 40 years now. So that is why everybody is talking about a new monetary system, and that is why it is important for all of us to learn this, start learning this new system. Prior to First World War, major economies existed on a hard gold standard, like I told you. Intra-wars, most economies returned to a semi-gold standard. At the end of the Second World War, a new international system was designed. 1971 was a huge changing point in history for the whole world, actually. The Bretton Woods Order, with the dollar tied to gold and other key currencies tied to the dollar. So that means from 1946 to 1971, it was tied to gold, okay? But from 1971, it was not backed by anything. The British pound, the German mark, French franc, all bought into the US dollar, and US dollar was backed by gold. And when that broke down at the start of the 1970s, the world moved on to a fiat system where the dollar was not backed by a commodity and was therefore not anchored. This system has now reached the end of its usefulness. That's where we are today in our day and time. The massive growth of mortgage debt across most of the world's major economies, not just in the United States, is one key example of this. Rather than a shortage of housing supply, as is often postulated as the key reason for high house prices, it's the abundant and rapid growth in mortgage debt. The mortgage debt in this country and every other country actually is pretty high, and that has been the key driver in recent decades. So that is one of the reasons we're all here now, where we are constantly hearing about cryptocurrency and digital currency in the media, and every business is talking about it. And this is the reason everybody's adopting it now. And we are all here to learn what this new system is. Fiat money. So that is the money that we have today in our wallet, which is the green money, right? So it's got the number 10 on it, or the number 100 on it, or 1,000 on it. And that means it's a $10 bill, or it's a $5 bill. Who decides that? Who decided that this piece of paper is worth $10? Who decided that this piece of paper is worth $100? The government, the United States government and the feds decided that. And why is the whole world, this is the de facto currency. So when people buy oil, any country in the world, actually, they're supposed to be paying with the US dollar. And that's why it's the de facto currency for the whole world. That's how it is today. But it's slowly changing to a different currency now. So money that the government guarantees as a legal tender, fiat money, derives its value from government regulation or law. It has no intrinsic worth. What it's printed on is worthless unless the government gives it some sort of value. So the commodity money is the money is made of a commodity such as gold. So that is gone now. And right now in today's world, we are dealing with this fiat currency as of today. But we are in the cusp now, just like what happened in 1994 when Google came, when Twitter came into being and Facebook came. The way we do business did change dramatically when email was introduced. I've been here in the Bay Area for a very long time, and I used to give presentations on email, actually. What is email? And people used to think that we could never use email on a phone. I have still recordings where people used to say, Indu, come on, I can never look at an email on a little phone. My eyes are going to hurt. Well, today people are looking at it on a little screen, on a watch, actually on their wrist. Things have changed that much. Now, even when Twitter came, Facebook came, I used to give presentations to business owners on Twitter and Facebook saying, okay, it's time to learn this, guys, because this is a way of we're going to distribute content basically using these platforms. But once again, there was a lot of resistance saying these are for college kids. Nobody else is going to be using it. Definitely not the business world. The business world is not going to be using these social media platforms. But we were wrong. So in today's world, business do use social media platform heavily, every social media platform actually, for marketing and distributing content, basically, throughout the world. So here we are, in another time where here at the cusp of where we are changing the whole monetary system, which is going to change the way we do business. So you need to understand what is digital currency and what is cryptocurrency. It is kind of the same, but not really either. Digital currency is fully centralized and cryptocurrency is fully decentralized. That means it's not government backed. Every government has its own way of dealing with their currency. So whereas in cryptocurrency is completely decentralized, where there is no one single government manipulating their currency for their country. Okay, so that really is the difference, which is a major difference because humans have evolved in the way we think. This my country, my currency, and putting borders around your country and basically manipulating their currency for the benefit of their citizens, that thinking is slowly evolving into more of a global thinking. And this type of decentralized cryptocurrency seems to appeal to most of the young people, actually. So that's why it is getting more and more popular. Now, digital currency, it is surrounded by legal frameworks. So this cryptocurrency, I don't think it is going to be, this is my opinion, it is not going to suddenly overnight change into this completely different monetary system. Everything evolves slowly into another system. That's where we are. We are in the very beginning stages, and it's a good thing that you all in Alameda County, either business owners or going to be business owners, are here trying to learn this. Kudos to you. You're definitely on the right track. So digital currency is being surrounded by legal frameworks. That means you have the backing of a stable government that is going to be protecting this currency that you have spent a lot of time working and earning. basically it's in a digital format. It's not in a paper format. That's all it is. And cryptocurrency is not surrounded by legal frameworks because there is no one single government that is protecting it. Okay, that seems like a huge advantage, or it seems very attractive for many young people who are doing business these days. Because they do not want to trust one government. So digital currency, also transaction directories, is kept secret. And cryptocurrency, transaction directories, is visual to all. What do I mean by that? This is very important to understand, because in the media, all of you would have heard again and again and again, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So there has to be some sort of, people are talking about socialism and communism. And why are they talking about that? Because every human being wants a level playing ground for everybody. And they really do not want to see one person very happy with everything in his life that he ever wanted. They do not want to see another human being totally in the dumps, having nothing basically, and hurting, right? General human tendency is you do not want to see that. So every government strives to make all their citizens the same, kind of earn the same, have the same type of things that they enjoy. And that really seems to be the goal of every government out there. But are they successful? They've been trying this for a very long time, for many years, but unfortunately, it's not quite working. So what economists are saying is, okay, in digital currency, the transaction directories is kept secret like it is today. Like if you go and buy, not totally secret, but there's a certain amount of secrecy involved. If you go and buy like 20 rolls of toilet paper somewhere, right? Is it really visible to everybody? And if one person is hoarding, going to Costco and buying everything there is, like they did during COVID time, and basically stockpiling everything in case there's some sort of major disaster, even beyond COVID. So they were unable to stop that. But with cryptocurrency, transaction directories is visual to all. It is not possible to hoard. One person cannot hoard tons of toilet paper, tons of food, and tons of gold or whatever, actually. So that's what they mean when they say transaction directories is visual to all, okay? And it is not encrypted. Digital currency is not encrypted, but cryptocurrency is highly encrypted. And that is one of the reasons, again, most of the people who are believing that cryptocurrency is going to be taking over the world is because it's highly encrypted, which means it's very secure. So now,
we have a question regarding the last slide.
sure.
If it's possible to have a semi-centralized system or a semi-decentralized system?
It is. That's what I'm going to be talking about, because that's the way we are going to be going, because it's hard to jump from one system that everybody is used to into a completely brand new system when nobody even understands what is happening. That will really collapse a society. So it has to be a slow transformation. And yes, it's going to be some sort of hybrid type of monetary system, just like how we have this hybrid type of working during post-COVID time. So not everybody is going to go back to work in a building, sitting in an office in front of their computer and working, right? And logging in their hours. So we're going to have a hybrid situation where you go into work sometimes and work at home sometimes, wherever. So that's the type of hybrid monetary system I think is going to happen all over the world, not just in the United States. So yeah, very good question. Thank you for that. So the US is looking into digital currency. We are kind of the last ones to be looking into the digital currency. If you look at it from a worldwide landscape, almost every country is ahead of us, I would say. So why digital currency? Digital currency is automatic transactions, and it's fast, much faster than any other system. And it's cheap, it's affordable. The transaction charges much, much lower than credit cards. And then it's very secure, protection from hackers, personal data often not needed. Why do I say that? I think a lot of you must be using Venmo. A lot of you must be using Zelle. It is a very secure system. So when you Venmo somebody some money or Zelle somebody money, what do you need, especially Venmo? All you need is a phone number or you need an email ID. That's all it is. That is digital currency. Did you actually see this green paper which said, you know, $10 or $100 on it? You did not. It was just a basic code that went from you to another person. And yes, it was very secure. So that's a great example of digital currency. Global, you can send money to anyone around the globe. See, this wasn't there before. So when we had the fiat currency, we had to use companies like Western Union to send money to somebody in some other country, and they would take a transaction fee, and there's like a conversion charge and everything. So that is being eliminated, and that is huge, because now think about it from a business point of view, right? It's just like when ships came in and ships were allowed into the Mississippi River. The whole Mississippi area changed because now they will be able to trade with anybody around the United States. So exact same thing. So when you're doing your business, or when you're thinking of starting a business, you aren't really a local business anymore because of this monetary system, which is going to change the way that we look at things when we buy stuff from other people. I would love to talk more about that, but I would be digressing. So moving on. So this is how the world is going. So just a little explanation. This is kind of the hybrid situation that I think is going to happen. So person A, so this is the dollar, which is like the fiat currency that we are dealing with right now. So this is the money transmitter. So there is a system, which is artificial intelligence, basically, which is running blockchain, which is the programming language that is built. I will go into that more, for these crypto assets like Bitcoin. So your fiat currency, let's say your $10, is being converted into, let's take Bitcoin as an example. When you see this B in this round, there is no coin that says Bitcoin. This is just to show people, okay, this means Bitcoin. So this is the money exchanger, and then you convert all your money into Bitcoin, and this is you again, and now you have Bitcoin that you converted your US dollars into. Now you want to buy, let's say, beer, and you want to buy some chocolates. So you go and give this Bitcoins to B, person B, who is basically selling chocolates, okay? And this is again done digitally online. And then B sends you back the chocolate that you wanted, and he gets the Bitcoin, and he goes through this money exchanger, and he goes through the bank to convert it back to US dollars or whatever currency that he may want to. Okay, this is kind of the hybrid situation that is already happening today. But there are a few people who here, you know, they have this Bitcoin right here, but they do not go and exchange it into this fiat currency that I'm talking about. They keep it as Bitcoin. A lot of people do. Why would they do that? I will go over that again. For that, you have to understand, how did all this start? It started long time ago. PayPal, you've all heard about PayPal. I think it was way back in 1994, I think. Well, what year was that? Yeah, 1998. It went public in 1999. So PayPal is a company created for an online wallet. They were the first ones to come up with it. PayPal was originally started as a security software developing company for handheld devices such as the Palm Pilot. We did not have the iPhone before. We did not have the Android before. We had the Palm Pilot. I used to use the Palm Pilot. I used to be a programmer in a company that did programs for the Palm Pilot. So we were all excited when PayPal came up with this. Actually, who made PayPal? That was not Elon Musk. Elon Musk actually bought into it. Let's see. So this was a really old ad for PayPal, which is a very interesting ad that I thought I will share. And it said, "Be money." So be money generally means it's digital money. Send money to anyone with an email address. You have to have an email address. Those were the days when I used to give presentations about email. A lot of people did not want to get an email address because they didn't think it's going to stick, at least in the business world, actually. But PayPal came up with this system where it said, okay, if you have an email address, I can send you money. Those of you who knew Craigslist, that was the first directory structure that came out, even before Google actually, where business owners used to be on Craigslist. And we used to do business with each other using PayPal. And we never saw the money, the currency actually. It was basically digital money that we kept sending back and forth. So if I did a little program, a little routine for a company A that they hired me as a consultant, usually it was a tech people who used this actually, and I've used it a lot. So if I did a little program for a company, then they would just pay me $1,000, not as 1,000 US dollars, but it was 1,000 PayPal dollars, which was sitting somewhere in this PayPal cloud. Okay, and I used to use this 1,000 PayPal dollars to buy stuff, regular stuff like shoes, t-shirts, and whatnot. Yes, there were companies that would accept PayPal dollars. So that was fantastic for a lot of technologists and a lot of people who knew about this actually. Why? Because this money was not really accounted for in your income from an IRS point of view. So the government started, getting alarmed actually. Oh my God, here are millions of dollars going back and forth, in the cloud, and people are actually doing business. This seems to work. So what should we do? So the government decided, okay, every PayPal account has to be connected with your bank account. So they made that mandatory. So now the government knows what actually you're buying and selling using PayPal. So that's what changed. So with PayPal, you can request money, request payment from someone who owes you money. That's the same as Venmo actually. Group billing, collect money from hosting an event or party, same as Venmo again, and auction payments too. The Google AdWords actually, the way the ads are set, those are all in an auction basis. So the technology behind this is kind of the same for many, many applications that are out there. So sign up bonus in those days, it said get $10 for signing up. And it was 10 PayPal dollars, not the regular US fiat currency. Get $1,000 for referring your friends. Again, that was not fiat currency, it was PayPal. 1,000 PayPal dollars was a lot of money, actually. So we used to refer people a lot, and we used to get these referral dollars, which was very exciting. So this really changed the way we look at money and the way money was being transacted between two parties. So this is very important for you guys to understand before you understand how cryptocurrency is going to be working. It's the same basic idea, actually. So what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is a digital money created from code. Now, I explained PayPal to you. I explained Venmo to you. It's the same thing. You didn't see the dollars then. So why is everybody, shouting about cryptocurrency like it's some brand new thing? It's not really. Actually, it's digital money created from code. The cryptocurrency economy is monitored by peer-to-peer internet protocol. Now, this is what is different, actually. Right now, the fiat currency is being monitored by local governments of each country. Now that part is slowly evolving and slowly changing. So that's important to understand, because that's humans have evolved, actually, and that's how humans think that we should be dealing with everybody on a global scale. Cryptocurrency is an encrypted string of data or a hash encoded to signify 1 unit of currency. I'll be going over that in a bit. Now, Bitcoin has a market cap which is 127 million, and Ethereum is another type of crypto asset. I won't be talking too much about these assets, only about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, because we won't have the time otherwise, and it'll be way too much information for you guys. So Ethereum market cap is like a platform. Think of it like another PayPal platform or a Venmo or a Stripe platform. Ethereum is a platform, and 24 million is the market cap, and XRP is another asset. It's a crypto asset, and that's 18 million, actually. Now, blockchain, you will hear this word blockchain when people talk about cryptocurrency. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a language, basically, just like we have the English language. So everything is written in English, so that's a language. If you go to France, everything is written in French, so that's a language. That's how they deal with each other in that particular language. Blockchain is basically a language that anybody can learn. Any one of you can learn blockchain. And that's how this whole cryptocurrency asset is built. So Bitcoin was the very first crypto asset that was built using blockchain. Now, altcoins is basically alternate coins other than Bitcoin. So people thought, if I can build Bitcoin and everybody is transacting in Bitcoin back and forth between human beings, why not other type of assets, right? Why only one asset called Bitcoin? So people started getting smarter. That's how humans are. So you give them a little bit of information, they start building on that information, just like a child does. So you basically give the infrastructure to a human being, and the human will start learning again and again. And he has built artificial intelligence now, which is the machine learning, and that is learning even faster than the humans. Most of blockchain has artificial intelligence built into it, which means it's really not the humans that is manipulating it. There's a lot of artificial intelligence that comes into play also. That's why a lot of young people like it, because there is not a bunch of humans who are powerful and rich, who are controlling the monetary system for the rest of the humans. That doesn't seem right for many people. So they like this decentralized type of monetary system where a group of people are not controlling the livelihoods of the whole planet, actually. So alternate coins are some of the examples. Famous ones are Ripple, Litecoin, Tether, and Ethereum. There are literally like 1,000 other alternate coins. You can start an alternate coin if you want to, right? So you have the option to do that. Anybody can start an altcoin. Digital tokens Under digital tokens, which is a different sector under the cryptocurrency, that is BitCash, which is getting very popular now. And that is the same value as US dollar with no bank or government control. Right now, every dollar that is the fiat currency is controlled by your government and a bank. But the BitCash is not going to be controlled by the government. So it is going to be more of a decentralized blockchain application. So that is getting very popular. That is the hybrid situation that we are in, because you really cannot jump into complete cryptocurrency without having some sort of middle ground here. It's like how we had the wired telephone. After the wired telephone, we had the the telephones without any wires, actually, and then came the cell phone. Now there are some countries which are completely jumping into this cryptocurrency without the middle ground, where how we have the credit card system, right? A lot of countries did not have the credit card system like we do. So those of them who did not have the credit card system, they went from fiat currency, jumped to the cryptocurrency. So, but for us, there is a process. So go over a little bit about encryption. This is the public key. So when I buy something, when I buy chocolate from John, and John, when I send my Bitcoin public key to him, John will be able to open this public key and say, oh, she wants chocolates, and then he will send it to me. But the money I send to him, he will make it private and keep it in his wallet. So that's the decryption and the encryption. That's the meaning of public key and private key. So it's important to understand that. Now, Bill Gates, since he's in the news from yesterday because he's going through a divorce, unfortunately, he said the world needs banking, but it does not need banks. Now, that's becoming true now, actually. The world definitely needs banking, but do we need these large buildings where people are actually, the tellers are sitting there and we go into the bank with this handwritten checks, and then we take a copy of the check, keep it in our folder, and then we give the check to this teller, and she basically processes it and then makes it into this fiat currency that goes into your account? That seems like a, huge process. So what Bill Gates said was the world needs banking, but it does not need the banks. So we don't need banks to process our transactions anymore. Banks are going to be going through a huge transformation. Instead, transactions in cryptocurrency are processed on the blockchain, which is the programming language that I talked about. Blockchain programming language. If you are interested in learning, it is a very good idea. Or if you have children or anybody who are interested in learning this, it is a fantastic opportunity for you guys for the future. I would definitely encourage it. The blockchain is shared because it's going to, not only in the monetary system, it is going to be infiltrating into many other sectors like the food sector, for instance. So the blockchain programming is going to be important. The blockchain is shared, and just to digress a little bit again, women, from statistics, women are really good at coding in blockchain. Why? Because it's just logic, and the way our brain thinks, it just comes easier to us. So if you're interested, definitely look into that. A huge opportunity there. The blockchain is shared because it is run by lots of different people and companies instead of just one company like the banks are. So if you're dealing with Bank of America is the one that is controlling your money, and that is the only company that is dealing with you. And if you're dealing with Bank of the West is the one that is controlling it. But that's going to change now. It's going to be run by lots of different people and companies instead of just one company like the banks are. This way, nobody has power over the transactions or the cryptocurrencies involved, And you don't need to trust one single company like a bank to handle your money. Now, one analogy I can give you regarding this so that you will understand better is think of the news media today. In those days, in the morning, San Jose Mercury News, let's take San Jose Mercury News or San Francisco Chronicle as an example. They used to throw these newspapers in our front driveway. We used to pick it up and we used to read it in the morning over coffee. It was actually yesterday's news that we were reading in the morning, and they fed us what we were to read and what we were to process in our brains, and we accepted it. But the way we process news now has completely changed thanks to the social media networks, especially Google. So when most people, now the statistics, I think 85% or 90% of the people get their news on their phone using a browser like Google. Now, how does Google feed you the news that you want to see? It's actually not from one particular reporter or one particular newspaper. Google already knows what your interests are, and Google knows everything about you. And the way the news is fed to you is by, it's like a social platform where if many people are interested in a particular news item, that's the news item that would come up first for you. If nobody is interested in a particular news item, that item will not be fed to you. So that is an analogy, a good analogy for you to think about the way news is fed to you in this day and age. That's the same way this particular cryptocurrency monetary system is going to work. It's going to be run by lots of different people and different companies around the world with artificial intelligence also involved. So there is no one single government or a group of people who's going to be controlling this. So let's see how the current banking system works now. So how does it work today? You deposit money in the bank, and then the bank loans your money to people so that they can go buy a house or go to college. The bank then charges interest on the money they loaned. So basically you gave bank the money so that they can do business and they can make money out of your money actually. And then the interest that they earned, what do they do with it? They basically pay their employees and their bills, and then after that, whatever is left over, the bank pays you interest since it borrowed your money. With the money left over, the bank starts the cycle all over again. This is how we are currently working. This is how we've been working for the last actually about 50 years, right? Or a little bit more with the fiat currency. But humans have evolved now. And we started thinking, is this the best way that we should be working? Or is there a better system that we can all be working? What does the crypto bank do? This is the hybrid situation that I think we're going to, it's already happening actually. So this is the hybrid situation that is going to be happening pretty soon. It is happening in small areas. All over, in some parts of the world, it's happening more, but in the US, it's slowly starting. So fiat currency is the bank, and then basically the bank is exchanging, it's the decentralized exchange. That is the Coinbase type of applications that you're seeing. Coinbase does not have a banking license yet, whereas in China, there are like applications, the decentralized exchange applications that have a banking license. The government has given them the banking license. That's one of the reasons that China has way ahead of us in mobile payments and digital payments. Here in America, it is only like 24% of the people. Let's take Apple Pay, right? People who have iPhones. How many people actually use Apple Pay to transact? It's only 24%. Even if you have an iPhone, it's only 24%. But in China, 90% 90% of the people use their digital payments on their phone, actually. So that's slowly changing in America because we have our rules and regulations. So that's why it's a little bit slow to change. And so the fiat currency is going to be exchanged to Bitcoin and Bitcash and Litecoin and any other type of asset that people prefer. And that is going to go into the user account, which is again going to be sitting somewhere in the cloud, just like you have your Venmo, just like you have your PayPal dollars sitting somewhere in the cloud, right? So the Ripple and Bitcoin Cash, they all are under separate user accounts that you set up, and only you have access to it. So that's the hybrid situation that is going to happen right now. So
we have a question. So the question asks, how about accountability? If your account is short, you can contact a person in your local bank. But if your account is all in Bitcoin, who's accountable and where do you go if you have this problem?
I didn't understand the question, Caesar, say it again.
So pretty much the question is about accountability when it comes to Bitcoin. Like
accountability, yes, yeah. Who verifies? That's the slide now, yeah. Who verifies the transactions between two parties? So how did Venmo, who really verified that? So one person A sent it to an email ID to person B. So that's exactly what we are talking about. It's basically, it is again comes down to the social platform type of working. It is artificial intelligence along with the social platform transactions. So that's called the nodes. I'm just going to go over the top level of it. So once you understand the top level, you can go to YouTube or you can go to Khan Academy. There are many videos on this, so you can understand a little bit more. So the nodes are rewarded for verifying transactions between two people, actually. So John bought something from Mary, and who verified it? It is somewhere, some people who saw this transaction goes through and click on yes, it is verified, because the artificial intelligence basically shows them about John and about Mary and what type of person she is and what type of transaction that she is going to be conducting, okay? It is done in the back end code, and that's called the POW. That's called proof of work. So that's a term in cryptocurrency programming that you learn. So when you go and go to YouTube and type in, you want to learn about POW or Khan Academy, you will learn a little bit more. It's an algorithm, basically. So anybody, that's why I said women are really good at blockchain. So once you start learning blockchain more and more and more, you can actually be a miner. So that means you are also verifying transactions between two parties. And every time you verify a transaction, you get a reward, which is whatever asset like Bitcoin you will get. That's your reward. Actually, it's like payment for verifying the transactions. Right now, when let's say you're using Visa or you're using MasterCard, right? That company is the one that is verifying your transaction, and that company is the one that is getting paid beaucoup amounts of dollars that we are not seeing at all. But with cryptocurrency, that whole transaction model is being changed. You have to start thinking outside the box now, okay? So anybody, any one of you can learn this blockchain and become a miner and start verifying these transactions, which can be hugely beneficial for you. Okay, so that is called proof of work, POW, the first miner to verify the block. So there are many POWs, proof of work people sitting around in the world. So anybody who does it first is the one that is rewarded with new coins. There are other algorithms used in other blockchains also. For Bitcoin, it is proof of work. Okay, so Now to make it, I found this really simple image that will make you understand even further. So let's say take Alice and Bob. So Alice has 10 coins and Bob has 10 coins, right? So now Alice wants to buy something from Bob and she gives him 10 coins to buy, let's say, chocolates. Now can she use the same 10 coins and can she give it to Charlie to buy something else? No, she cannot. Now, who prevented her? Who prevented her from doing this invalid transaction? So it is the miners around the world, actually. So they saw this transaction go through and they said, wait a minute, Alice has only 10 coins. So she can buy something from Bob for 10 coins, but she really cannot buy something else with the same 10 coins from Charlie. So that was rejected. Okay. Now, no bank was there and no Visa-like company was there to stop that transaction. So this is not to upset anybody if you're into politics. This is the only graphic I could find, which was very easy to understand. So let's take Donald Trump wanted to buy $100 worth of bananas and a gun for the price of $100. So where is he going to buy that? Let's say he has $100 worth of Bitcoins, right? Now, Hillary Clinton is selling bananas for $100 and Ted Cruz is selling guns for $100. Now, can Donald Trump buy bananas and guns, the great negotiator he is? So he would try to buy bananas and guns for $100. Can he do that? Nope, he cannot now. Because again, the blockchain, artificial intelligence, and all the miners around the world are going to know, okay, this is what he's trying to do. That's not really right. And we're not going to allow that. So he can buy only bananas because he only has $100. Now, can he buy, let's say he had $500 and he wants to buy $500 worth of bananas. Can he do that? In today's world, you can do that. But can you do that in the cryptocurrency world? Now, that's what economists are saying they cannot, because they do not want one person. How much bananas can you eat? What for are you buying these 500 bananas? So this is a huge discussion that is going on. So in the economist's mind, it is basically distribution of wealth in a more equal manner that is possible, or at least they are trying, I would say, which is possible. So that's how it is changing right now. So let's say he wants to buy guns from Ted Cruz. He can either buy for $100 guns, or he can buy bananas. He cannot buy both. And if he has way more than $100, he cannot buy like 20 guns and just keep them in the garage just in case he might need these 20 guns. So that's what is changing. Okay, which sounds nice. I hope it works. Now, released as this is Bitcoin actually. What is Bitcoin? Released as open source software in 2009, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that was invented by an anonymous person or a group of people who use the name Satoshi Nakamoto. So is Satoshi Nakamoto, who is he? Is he from Japan? Because that sounds like a Japanese name. Or is it a group of people? Or was it like a computer who came up with this? Nobody really knows, actually. Not one person knows. Bitcoins are digital assets that serve as the reward for a process known as mining and can be exchanged for other currencies, products, or services. So this actually was invented in 2009, and this is how a public key looks. So it always starts with 1 or 3, and it has 34 characters. This is how a private key looks, and then it is starting with 5, and it has 51 characters. Okay, There is no coin with a big B on it. That is just an image for us to know, okay, that means Bitcoin. So there will only be 21 million Bitcoins. That is very important to understand, again, from a monetary system. So today's world, we are thinking about, 1.9 trillion that Congress is passing. And after that, 3 trillion, after that, another 8 trillion, because we want to give money to people who are going to college, and people give money to other people who want whatever. So when we want money, what do? We just go print it, right? We can print how much ever we want because we have the ability. It's just a printing machine. But can we do that when it's the cryptocurrency world? No, we cannot, because there's only 21 million Bitcoins. That's all you can mine. That's the limit, actually. So most of these Bitcoins already have been mined by users. There are currently around 17 million Bitcoins, so there are still 4 million left to be mined. This low limit for Bitcoin is good for the price. If a lot of people want Bitcoin, but there aren't many Bitcoins available, the people that want Bitcoin will pay more for it. So the value of the Bitcoin goes up. What happens if you take away the 21 million and make it 41 million, right? That's not going to work. So the Bitcoin value will go down. That's kind of what is happening today to the US dollar. So what will happen if you keep on printing dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars? So what is the value of the dollar going to be? Nobody knows, actually. So that's a big question mark. And that's another reason why Bitcoin is getting very popular, because people are getting smarter. Bitcoin is easier to liquidate. Can you convert Bitcoin to fiat currency? That means if you have Bitcoin, can you convert it to US dollar or euro or Chinese yuan? Can you convert it? Yes, you can. Bitcoin is easier to liquidate than rival cryptocurrency types. That means there are, like I told you, there are like 1,000 different assets, but Bitcoin is very easy to convert if you want it to be converted. This means it is easier to convert Bitcoin into cash. That's right, because Bitcoin is so popular, it is easier to exchange your Bitcoin for fiat currency using platforms like Coinbase, which is a San Francisco-based company that went public recently. Also, Bitcoin is on almost every crypto exchange on the internet. This means the trading volume is super, super high right now. There are so many people getting into Bitcoin on a daily basis. I forgot the statistics now, but it is some phenomenal number. It is just amazing that so many people are already dealing in Bitcoin, transacting, actually buying stuff. They're not even converting it into any type of fiat currency. They're just using it as a crypto asset. More stores accept Bitcoin. So many people ask me, okay, Indu, I have a fraction of this Bitcoin. What should I do with it? What can I buy? What use it is if you cannot buy anything, right? So you are able to buy just about any item using Bitcoin through the hundreds of online sellers that are already using it. This is another way you can liquidate your Bitcoin rather than convert it back into cash. So you can just spend it just like you would with cash. So that's why people are not converting it, because you can go to any one of you can use it in Groupon, you can use it in Priceline, you can use it in Hilton, you can use it in Macy's, you can use it in Gap, Best Buy, CVS. So more and more companies, Old Navy is accepting Bitcoin too. So more and more companies are beginning to accept cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. So, so that's one of the reasons it's getting more popular with the common man. So you may then ask me, okay, Bitcoin is like so expensive. It is like what, $59,000 per Bitcoin? That's way too expensive for me. What can I do? Can I buy a fraction of 1 Bitcoin? Yes. So how do you buy a fraction? What is it called? It's called a Satoshi. Why is it called a Satoshi? People say sat, actually. So they say 1 sat. That costs 1 sat or 2 sats. outside America, this is so popular. So people are actually talking in sats now. How much did that shoe cost? Oh, it cost me just like 2 sats. So what currency is that? Is that that country's currency? No, it's actually a fraction of the Bitcoin. Why Satoshi? Because remember Satoshi Nakamoto. He is the one, he or a group of people named Satoshi Nakamoto is the one who started Bitcoin. A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. The term Satoshi comes from the name of the creator of the Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. Although no one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, it seems honorable to name the smallest unit of a Bitcoin after him. It's just like, you know, how we say a dime or a nickel. So that's a fraction of a dollar, right? Same thing. When Bitcoin eventually becomes mass adopted, the term Satoshi will be used in everyday conversations. It's already happening. Instead of the answer to how much did that cost being $10, the answer in the future could be, oh, it was only 5 Satoshis or 5 sats. How cool is that? So here is an example explaining a fraction. So a Bitcoin can be divided into 8 decimal places, which means there are 100 million Satoshis in 1 Bitcoin. So 1 Satoshi is 0.000001 of a Bitcoin. And 100 Satoshis is 0.00000100 of a Bitcoin. So this means that Bitcoin can be broken down into 100 million fractions. That is, 1 Bitcoin can be divided into that.
Hey, we have a question. Someone wanted to know if the Bitcoin value is fixed.
Now, Bitcoin value is, it's publicly traded. So the public decides what the value is going to be. Is it going to stick, or is it going to be $100,000 per Bitcoin, or is it going to lose all its value and become $5? We don't know. Do you know if US dollar is going to hold its value? We don't know. We are trusting our government to make the right choice. Other people in other governments are trusting their government, but the people in Venezuela and those countries trusted their government also, but their dollars didn't hold the value. So that is a very good question. We don't know. So the economists are saying it will hold the value as of now. So you need to know about PayPal now. Is PayPal integration important? Because you're all business owners or going to be business owners, and the whole seminar is for business owners actually. So it's important to understand PayPal is the first company that is actually accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. It supports that. PayPal will therefore have a cryptocurrency wallet. So you've heard about wallets. Where do you keep this long string of gibberish numbers that actually says you have some money? That's the translation actually. Where do you keep all these numbers? Some people are saying you need to memorize that. If you go to YouTube and if you go to Khan Academy, there are actually classes now on how to memorize these crypto assets, the long string of numbers. I don't think I can do that, but there are a lot of young people learning that, and they are memorizing it. But where do you keep this string very safely somewhere that nobody else can get it? That's called a wallet. Just like the physical wallet that you have right now, we have these pieces of paper that says 10 on it or 100 on it, and we are holding that dear to us, saying, okay, that's my money, you know, so that's so important to me. I can go buy stuff with this green paper, or I can go buy a house with this green paper. Same way, you know, where do you keep it? That's the wallet that PayPal is giving you. Not just PayPal, Coinbase gives you that wallet too. There are many applications that give you this wallet. And that's where you safe keep all this. It's exactly like the way you have many of your passwords, email passwords. We all have so many applications now where we have access codes for all these applications that we store somewhere, because not all of us remember everything. So it's the same thing, actually. So where users can buy, sell, and hold crypto in the PayPal app, as well as buy and sell. In addition, PayPal users can purchase crypto through PayPal's mobile app. It works really well when you download the PayPal mobile app through the company's website or the PayPal wallet. So you can experiment with that. So PayPal Satoshi Exchange, this is how, let's say you are selling something on your website, and I would encourage every one of you to sell something, because it is very lucrative, because everybody is buying everything online. Even if you offer a service and you want somebody from across the world to pay you for that service that you're offering. I talked to somebody the other day who has their yoga instructor in India. And this person really loves their yoga instructor. That really surprised me, because oh my God, so what happens to all the yoga instructors here then, right? So things are changing so much in the business world for certain type of businesses, chiropractors, and more in the therapy world, actually, psychologists and marriage therapists and child therapists. They don't have to be in one particular office now, and they don't have to look for a local clientele, because their clientele really comes from anywhere in the world. So those type of people, if they want to integrate on their website so that people can pay them via Satoshis, they can totally do that using PayPal very easily now. So 10,000 Satoshis, that translates to $2.87. And it just needs a deposit email, just like you have for Venmo. So this crypto me _account_owner at someserver.org, that's just an example. So that's how PayPal would generate this email ID for depositing your crypto asset into that wallet. And of course, you can exchange it. So if you would rather have US dollars, the green money, then you just click on this exchange via PayPal and exchange it to any type of US dollars or any other type of currency, it doesn't matter. Why Bitcoin Cash? So this is the digital money revolution. Some of you are asking me, what is digital money? Bitcoin Cash is like a new version of Microsoft Word, which generates documents that can no longer be opened via the older version. So we've all experienced this, because Microsoft will basically force you to update whatever application that you're using, whether it's Excel or whether it's PowerPoint, right? It'll keep saying that you are using the old version, why don't you use the new version? So Bitcoin Cash is a good example of that, because it is the same value. So if it is 1 Bitcoin Cash, it's the same as 1 US dollar. So that's how the United States is basically introducing the public to this type of digital currency, because it's easier to understand. Bitcoin Cash brings sound money to the world. Merchants and users are empowered with low fees and reliable confirmation. So they're giving you very low fees. Right now, when we pay by credit card, the fees are very high. There's a transaction fee, there is a per transaction fee, then there is some sort of percentage they take also. So a lot of transactional fees goes into credit card transactions. So that is being eliminated with Bitcoin Cash, and that's one of the reasons that business owners are very interested in this. If you see here, Bitcoin Cash, so let's say the regular Bitcoin, actually it takes 10 hours or more to confirm a transaction, but Bitcoin Cash, which is actually controlled by the government, is virtually instant. It's $3 per transaction for Bitcoin, the regular Bitcoin. It is 0.0003 for Bitcoin Cash, which is fantastic actually. And it's 24 transactions per second, which means boom, 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 boom. You can get Bitcoin transactions really fast. And it's secure development basically, because it's basically kind of, one analogy is like, it's like a social network where many teams are looking at this and keeping it secure. Top companies accepting Bitcoin Cash one is Shopify. Every one of you has heard about Shopify. So if you open a store in Shopify, Shopify has a marketplace also. And your goods and services can be bought by anybody in the world using Bitcoin Cash because it is built into Shopify. Play Asia, of course, they have it. That's the entertainment platform. And Silver, Gold, and Bull, where you can buy and sell silver and gold. And HostWinds is a hosting company for websites, actually. So they have it also. Now, one of the advantages of accepting Bitcoin Cash in your business is you can go and list your business in green pages, and it'll show it's kind of like the Craigslist of today. So in those days, those of us who knew about Craigslist, we used to list our businesses in Craigslist, and we used to get a lot of business. Those of us who knew about Craigslist always went into Craigslist and chose businesses dealing with businesses over there. It's the same thing. Today's green pages that accepts Bitcoin Cash, you can go list it there. It's just another form of visibility and marketing for your business. So you should look into it. And mapbitcoin.com, this is one example. There are many maps actually. So this comes under marketing. So once you start archiving your business, saying that you accept Bitcoins in your business, you will be archived. You have to go and archive your business in these maps so that people can find you. And that's it. I know it was a lot of information, guys, but I hope it was useful. And this is the Alameda County contact information. We are on Facebook. Please go like us. And Twitter and LinkedIn. We are on LinkedIn. So please connect with us on LinkedIn also. And this is the phone number, and acsbdc@oloni.edu is the email ID. And Caesar is always there to answer and connect you all with any one of the business advisors, depending on your business and your need. And that's my presentation today. So do we have any questions, Caesar?
Yeah, so we do have a question from Jeanette. She wanted to know, what would you suggest? What do you think will be the best resource to learn blockchain and Bitcoin to make money?
But the best resource would be YouTube. Go to YouTube or Khan Academy, Khan, Khan Academy, which is all free. Yeah, I would definitely go there, and I would educate. You should educate yourself even more. This is just like a snapshot of what it is. Now that you know what it is, you should be educating yourself even more. It is really interesting, and it's good for you. It is, I think it's the future. Yeah.
Scott asked, what is the best exchange to use to buy crypto?
I would say Coinbase, because it is a San Francisco based company, and it's reliable. So I would recommend Coinbase. Robinhood is pretty good also. Yeah, either Robinhood or Coinbase. Yeah.
Okay, do we have any more questions from the attendees? Okay, it seems like we don't have any more questions, so that will conclude today's workshop.
All right.
Thank you, Indu, for presenting and sharing your knowledge on digital currency and cryptocurrency. And thank you again to those that attended. Okay, we do have another question from Scott. So Scott wanted to see what, do you have any suggestions for getting info about mining?
Any suggestions for mining?
For mining, yes.
Suggestions for mining. That is like That's like a huge question. That's like jumping into the ocean. So depending on what crypto asset that you are interested in, you should go and educate yourself on these different type of assets, and you should learn a little bit of blockchain programming, which is, you can easily learn that. Don't get intimidated thinking, oh my God, that's programming and it's too difficult. Not at all. Anybody can learn it. So go learn a little bit about blockchain and how to become a miner on YouTube or Khan Academy, and you can easily do it. There's huge opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Indu, for that response. Yeah, so that concludes today's workshop. Like I mentioned before, thank you, Indu, and thank you for those that attended. I will be sharing with you guys the slide deck for this presentation as well as the recording. You guys should expect this no longer than tomorrow morning. So yeah, so once again, thank you, Indu, and thank you everyone that attended, and that concludes today's workshop.
Thank you.